Guys, let's talk about a little something called communication. Just as in any important relationship in your life, communication is vital for success. So for the first time, me and the team actually decided what we were going to do for this race. And we made it very simple. Go as hard as we could from the gun and see what happens. As you can see, we got Wally up the road. Wally and Greg are interchangeable. Wally's kind of a nickname. Anyways, he just goes off the line super hard. He's actually in mountain bike pedals, so he clips in and just fires off the line. The rest of us are just chasing. Anyways, about a lap in, I catch Greg and kind of start thinking about, okay, how are we going to do this? And I'll speed it up here a little bit. Anyways, first lap in, look back in the back camera here and realize that it's already super strung out. So my whole thought is, let's just keep the gas on, see how many people we can just pop, and then see who's around for a potential breakaway here. So as we go around another lap, I look back and realize it's just me and Chris, and I don't want to do that much work. So I tell Chris here,
let's let some people bridge up, it'll be easier.
So I communicate with Chris. Chris isn't a teammate, but I say, hey, it's going to be a lot easier if we just let some folks bridge up. And it just so happened that they were teammates, so that's even a bigger bonus here.
Ease up, ease up.
Bridging up, we have Wally, who's been putting in a big effort. And then this bird, man, like any good bird, they just do not go away. We also have Micah here, another teammate. And Chris, he didn't bridge up, but him and I had been working together for the last few laps. Going into this race, I was absolutely prepared just to bury myself. I wanted to make it tough for everyone, including me. I wanted to see how long I could sustain a really big effort off the front, and to be honest, curious to see who would stick around as well, and that's teammates included. Right here, I don't know how many people saw this, but I just happened to be on the front right here. Never seen this guy. I think this was his first race. He kind of overcooked that corner, but look at this. He just popped right back up. Super tough guy. I did see him later on in the race, so he definitely jumped back on his bike and kept riding, so good for him. A lap or two later, I found myself on the front. Like I said, I wanted to make it hard, especially for this bird, man. They are really good at sitting in, and to their credit, I mean, they find themselves at the end of a lot of races. And so I figured I'm going to make it as hard as I can for this kid to stick around. And I mean, same for Chris and even Wally to see if they could hang. Anyways, I put in a big dig, and what happens? I mean, we drop Wally and Chris, and the bird sticks around.
You me, bro, let's go.
So after that effort I put in, I looked back and saw that it was definitely just him and I. So try to get him motivated, get him on the front to see what he could do. The wind today was pretty strong. I mean, the race after this actually got canceled because of wind and lightning. But right here is the headwind. And right when we get into the headwind, I mean, look at this kid. He's putting in an effort. He's trying his best, but I mean, he's a pretty light dude, and he is not faring well in this headwind. So this is when I realized, man, this might not be the best strategy here to have me and him kind of go the rest of the race. And we're only literally, I mean, less than 10 minutes in. And so I start thinking, hey, I might need to rethink what I'm doing here, because I'm positive he'll just sit on my wheel and do a great job at it the entire race. And so coming around the start finish, I look back in the rear view camera. You can kind of see Chris and Wally still back there. So I let a little bit of a gap open, and the bird, man, he does not waste any time. He puts in a little dig, and this is the tailwind section. He puts in a little bit of a gap, and I'm like, oh crap. So I have to bridge up to that. But like I said, you can see in the rear camera, you got Chris and Wally joining back up here to help reinforce this a bit. That wasn't a great effort there. At the end of the day, all I did is drag this bird around and then almost get dropped and have to bridge back up. I'm frustrated. I'm sure Chris and Wally are pissed that they had to put in that effort to bridge back up. And so we kind of reassess the situation here. So Wally reminds me, hey, we got a lot of racing left. And then a little bit later, he also communicates, hey, we got to get this bird to work. A bit later, we started lapping people, which was pretty exciting. I mean, I've never lapped the field before, and yeah, it was kind of fun to do it for this race. And obviously, going from the gun that hard, it was kind of bound to happen on how short our course is. Once again, guys, all about communication. I roll up here to Wally and let him know that I'll lead him out. Wally put in a huge effort bridging back up, and so I wanted to, and I've never led someone out, so I wanted to give it a try. So coming around here, this is the second big group that we ended up lapping. Bob, he came up to me before the race, fan of the channel. He was just pulling off, and that was my bad. I actually should have called out that we were coming around right there, but he was just pulling off of taking a pull there. Guys, communication. So once again, I was just wanting to let Wally know that I think we would have the best odds if it went me, Wally, then the bird, and then Chris for the last lap, just because Chris does have a bit of a sprint, and I figure Wally could out sprint the bird if I let him out well enough. A bit later in the race, as we started lapping some folks, some groups latched on.
Let's push it up, see what happens. Let's go a little bit, Greg.
To be honest, I just figured less people around the last lap would be easier to get the rotation that I was hoping for. So pushed the pace here a bit just to drop those lapped riders, and got back to just Wally, myself, the bird rider, and Chris. With a few laps to go, Micah actually bridged up from one of the lapped groups. And I just told him real quick that we're going to be working for Wally. So this is coming into the last lap right here. And when I pulled off the front, that last lap, I let a little too much space open up. But anyways, I come around this corner and I knew that I needed to be in the front to lead Wally out. Just gave Wally a quick heads up that I was coming through so he could work on getting on my wheel. Coming into this corner, I wanted to give him that best chance. So I took it super wide, and it made that bird rider adjust just a bit. And Wally came right through perfectly to get on my wheel. And then luckily enough, the bird got on Wally's wheel. So we had that combination that we were hoping for. Me, Wally, bird, Chris. And then coming into this last corner, Wally just did it perfect. Went underneath. The bird goes around, unfortunately, and we had this guy kind of in the middle of the road that people had to adjust for, obviously. And then I just pulled off. My job was done, so I coasted in. Wally executed that perfectly. He went underneath while everybody else went around. Woo! Super pumped for him to be able to get that win and to be part of it. As always, guys, like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Honestly, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you guys think I could do better on these videos. Thanks.